Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves game 2 of eAe Hype versus Clan Dog, and it's the semi-finals of the ACL, the Amateur Champions League, and it is eAe Hype in advantage right now. They took game 1 in a convincing fashion, and I'm Saint D from eAe Gaming, joined by my co-caster Snare.
What? Hello, everyone. Very glad to be casting this game. The first game was really set the bar very high. So we hope that both teams can actually come up to that same level again.
Yeah, it was an action-packed game. It wasn't lacking for action in one bit.
All action. And I think it actually was a testament to how the meta game has actually changed.
Yeah.
Like the 4 out of Lycan, that game proved why he's kind of falling off, because even though you can push incredibly quickly,
Yeah.
if you don't get online as fast as you'd like and start fighting, you're gonna have a situation like that where you can push really hard, but if they don't have any outer tier towers, you're like, well, we can't push high ground, and if we fight, we'll die. And then
Yeah. And I mean, they took Roshan like twice in that game, but it was pretty insignificant because they lost it twice. I mean, again,
like almost immediately afterwards, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Saber bans Doombringer. I'm happy with life.
Yeah, we've got the Brewmaster being banned. We've got, once again, eAe Hype don't like going up against the Bristleback because they keep banning out the Bristleback, and it doesn't look like they have a specific plan up for something that would actually not do as great up against the Bristleback. But nonetheless, I think it boils down to one MSI beat it game at some point during the week that actually they had to go up against the Bristleback, so that could be a huge factor.
Yeah, I know a lot of players do say that there's a psychological edge when you lose really badly to a hero.
Yeah.
You're like, well, we don't really have a counter for this yet, so let's just ban it just to be safe. We'll deal with the other OP heroes, like we'll deal with the Razor, we'll deal with the Shaman, and they deal with the Shaman by getting it themselves. So
Yeah.
do you think they're gonna just suit it as a deny pick, or do you think they want to use it to push?
I look at the way eAe Hype's been playing. I'm not entirely sure they want it specifically to push. I think right now they're keeping their options open because Shadow Shaman may be a pusher, but still a great support in terms of what he offers in fighting scenarios. Still a great support in terms of what he offers in terms of his roaming potential, in terms of what he gives you in terms of pickoffs. So he's still a pretty strong support. I think eAe Hype, it may be a deny pick in a sense, but in a sense they might have a plan for it. And then you look at the
We'll see
Razor.
how they do it. That's really scary. Because if they are planning to push, right? Razor's good against push. If they're planning to fight, Razor's good against fight.
Yeah.
It's one of those heroes that you have to deal with.
And he's
but
coupled with
it's
Ancient
like, okay,
Apparition.
That's gonna be disgusting. That's really gonna be disgusting. Putting it on first plus on top of an Ivor Storm. Ivor Storm reduces armor, which means that you might shut off. No. Just relax. That's ridiculous.
That is very ridiculous. It should be interesting to see what Clan Dog actually plan to couple up with the Ancient Apparition. We might actually get to see the Wraith King going their way.
Rating will actually be pretty good for them. Give them a nice, easy initiator. And another reason why the Razor A combo is really strong is that when you put out the Chilling Touch onto the Razor, because he's such a mobile hero, he's not really affected by the loss of speed that much. So he moves forward, he's attacking you, going ham. And maybe this is a counter for it, picking up the Skywrath Mage. It could be their way of saying, okay, maybe if there's an Ancient 0-2, maybe it won't be as scary.
And the nice thing with Skywrath is that he works pretty well up against an Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, Sky is really good against the. If you can get the drop on him, bring him down, because he has no right click, his mobility is subpar, not the best strength gain.
Yeah.
You catch him, you kill him, but can you catch him before Razor pitches and whoops your ass?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Because with the Razor pickup, Clan Dog clearly wants to fight. On top of getting an Ancient Apparition, they definitely want to fight.
And they ban out the Faceless Void. That's interesting, actually. It's interesting that he came this far into the draft, because Clan Dog could have easily picked up for themselves, and so could eAe Hype.
Yeah,
so it's kind of weird to see Void get this far.
Yeah, I think Clan Dog would have actually done pretty well with a Void on their lineup. I mean, they already have a pretty strong solo mid, potentially a solo mid, potentially a safe lane farmer, but the Void would have been great in their lineup. They would have had essentially what could have been a very strong tri-core lineup.
Yeah. also what I'm seeing now is that with eAe batting out the Viper and the Pugna, right?
Yeah.
It makes me think that they're planning to build around a team that has high magical burst,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't really transition that well into the late game. So we already have the Scarlet Mage and the Shadow Shaman to fulfill those roles.
Yeah.
And both of them really bad against Viper and really bad against Pugna. And it's
Very
interesting that
true.
Clan Dog bans Lycan, right? Even though they could have picked it, but they get Tidehunter. So
Okay, here's the
pretty
thing.
good against Magic, right?
Yeah, man, pretty good against Magic. Pretty good against Magic. Very survivable in his off lane. But then again, I guess Skywrath is one of the greater supports to deal with a Tidehunter on the off lane.
Yeah.
I think it's. I think them banning out the Lycan is still pretty interesting. But I'm not entirely sure eAe hype would have gone with the Lycan on the Radiant because let's be real. Lycan on the Radiant is a little bit weaker than Lycan on the Die.
Yeah,
It's just
actually
is
a lot
what it
weaker.
is.
Like you can't help it. There's no point really actually picking it up. If you're not on die, it's like you can get it if you want to, but it's not the best thing. You can't sneak in as many Roshans as you want.
Yeah.
And Juggernaut, what do you think it was part of the strategy to begin with, or do you think it's them trying to throw a direct response to the Tidehunter?
Could be a direct response to the Tidehunter, could be a direct response into the Razor, because depending on how he will build him. In team fights, Juggernaut for the most part, or at least for the early part of an engagement, is not going to be caring about Eye of the Storm going out or whatever magical damage is going to be dealt out from Clan Dog. They're not going to be really phasing too much onto Juggernaut. So I think it's a response to both those heroes.
Okay. One thing that we have to think about with the Razor though is that Razor, depending on how the engagement goes, can be pretty good against Juggernaut, stepping on all his damage, and then after his combo he's useless. But
Pretty
the
much.
ancient operation, right? If the Frost Blast catches on a few heroes, then healing ward is gone. That's not an option anymore.
Yeah, healing ward is gone. The thing is, the Juggernaut right now is a pretty interesting bet that eAe Hype is making, because the healing ward may be nullified in terms of what happens in the team fights, and then they pick up a Venomancer. So their late game is leaving a little bit to be desired when you look at what Clan Dog is going for with the Weaver pickup, with now on top of the Razor, the Tidehunter, and the AA. That's a scary lineup right now.
That damage is... That's quite scary. Yep. I think they've had enough of pushing. They're like, guys, we're fighting now. When they went off hard, might actually, okay, they needed another supporter, but with how this game is going, might even see them pick up a super aggressive support, like maybe even get a Lion or even a Vengeful Spirit. Both those heroes are not the best against Juggernaut, but deal very well with Skywrath Mage and Venomancer, depending on how they end this.
So I think, yep.
Where's the Venomancer going?
Could be a core. Probably a core. Is it an offlane Venomancer? Could be an offlane Venomancer or a solo mid.
Probably solo mid to deal with the Razor, because he can farm without having to be right next to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think okay, you look at the lineups the way they are. The early game is gonna, like, the onus is gonna be onto eAe Hype to get shit done, because their lineup going into the late game is not as strong as what Clan Dog can potentially have in the late game. I mean, they've got the Weaver, they've got Razor, and Tidehunter in terms of his control just works pretty well in the late game as well. So they need to get their early game on point. They need to get online much quicker than Clan Dog needs to.
Yeah. Because they haven't even picked up to what I assume will be their solo mid, they need something atrociously strong in the early game, because you're just not beating Razor and Tidehunter if the game goes late. That's just the reality of life.
Yeah.
Unless they mess up, you're just not beating them. And now life is even harder with the Sand King. So,
goodness, that is gonna be interesting. Once Sand King gets his Blink Dagger up, once he gets his levels up, Epicenter going out, it's gonna be atrociously strong. On top of the Ice Blast, on top of Eye of the Storm, Ravage, and Weaver just coming in, cleaning up. It's gonna be, once the it's like the potential 5-man death ball coming out from Clan
very
Dog
problematic.
is
Very
scary.
seems like I'm having internet issues.
Yeah, you're having internet issues, good sir.
Yes. Come back from Opikopi, hate life and have bad internet.
Okay.
But in any event, something that I wonder, is this a Rubik game?
It could be, but that is pretty risky though. because they have two supports already, and going into a core Rubik or a core Skyreth Mage once again just would solidify the fact that they don't really have a late game, because once they lose the late, if they break even on the early game, they break even on the mid game, the game's of it's gonna go the way of Clan Dog. So so Rubik would be nice, but not into this lineup that they already have.
What do you think they go for that? I think right now the thing for eAe Hype, they need to find a way to abuse the fact that they've got at least 10 to 15 minutes of free swarming space before the Tyrants and the Sand King become fully online, and before Weaver and Razor become really insane monsters. So there we go. There we go. Invoke. I was actually gonna say maybe TA, but Invoke is just as hype.
Yeah, Invoke is just as hype. In any case, let's introduce the lineups. I will introduce eAe Hype over on the Radiant. We've got Beavercus on the Skyreth Mage. We've got Super going on the offlane Venomancer. We've got Fanes on the Juggernaut. We've got Noobcake playing up the Shadow Shaman. And we have Marinbra going up mid on his Invoker.
Invoker, yes. And on Cyber's Team Dog, we have Chiller playing on that support Sand King. Looking to him, he's gonna be the big team fight initiator. Sayu playing the support Ancient Apparition. Shadow on the Weaver, gonna be going, looks like he's actually going into the tri lane. He's the hard farmer. So that leaves Saber on the solo mid Razor, and then Ninja Bunny, on the off lane Tide Hunter.
This is going to be an interesting early game, because eAe Hype needs to make sure they win it, and they need to win it kind of handedly because of their lineup.
Yeah, they need to really win, and it's smart of them to actually go into an aggressive try lane for this, because they realize, like I said in the draft, they are abusing the fact that it's going to be at least 10 minutes before Chiller has his Blink Dagger. So if they force him either into the lane or actually kill off Shadow and Sayu, then they'll be perfectly happy with how things work out. So you want to take advantage of the early aggression that is offered to you by a Juggernaut and Rasta in the same lane.
On top of a Skyreth Mage, man. That
Ancient Seal sucks, man.
Ancient Seal.
Oh, and if Weaver gets caught in Ancient Seal, he's just dead.
Yeah.
That's
the nice thing about the Skyreth Mage. Weaver doesn't like Skyreth Mage at all.
Like, at all. Just like, no. It's interesting. Look at Marin. Actually went, he must be going the Quas Rex build, right?
Yeah.
But he leveled up the Wex first. A lot of players would normally prefer to level up the Quas Rex.
That's an interesting choice. What do you think about him going for the Wex build over the Exort build?
I think it's a response to the Razor. He wants to stay as far back as humanly possible.
Oh, we've got a burst strike going out. There goes the cold feet, and looks like we've got a Play Fury going out. Chiller may just lose his life, but in the meantime, Noob Cakes. Oh, that clutch first blood going the way of Beavercus. That clutch first blood.
Beavercus throwing first blood just in time.
Just in time.
Just as Noob Cake died.
Yeah.
Oh, might actually see. Might want to re-engage on this. Oh no, they're just gonna stay back and fight. One thing that is really interesting about how that went down, right?
Yep.
Is that even though Noob Cake took a full combo and he procced off the cold feet, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have enough right click to bring him down.
Oh, got a contested shot. There goes the arcane bolt.
A couple of right clicks, they bring him down. So, and this time it's Beavercus getting. Oh, Beavercus gets a kill again.
That's a farm support, man. That's a farm support. Oh, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a huge problem. And
the thing is that,
and they're doing what they need to do, because they're making sure that the Weaver doesn't get farmed. I mean, look at him. He's sitting at one on the CS board.
A single last hit. Like he really cannot do anything in this lane. It's like he comes close, they go on either support on him. And it looks like actually on the bottom lane, Super farming up against the Tide Hunter by himself. And he's beating him, but Tide Hunter is not really, you can't really expect him to die up against a Venomancer solo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, but it's going the way of Super, but I think what Ninja Bunny's going to be happy with the fact that he's only going up against one hero.
Yeah. Tide Hunter by alone is really difficult to kill.
Yeah.
Like super hard. Pun not intended.
Static link going out.
Lane. Are we gonna do anything?
So much. 28 damage going the way of Saber.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's like, man, that's one of the reasons why you have to try. If you're gonna do anything against Raze, you have to do it early,
Yeah.
before static link becomes ridiculous. Because in the later portion of the game, you're just like, wait a second, I had damage. Where did it all go? Oh, snap! Saber's now super strong.
Ooh, and now with eAe Hype committing to an offensive tri lane, what they're actually doing is they're forcing Chilla on the Sand King to be a lot more active in the tri lane scenario, because he can't really go back into the jungle unless he leaves his fellow teammates in dire straits, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. He only has half a level so far. Hasn't got a single creep kill. Hasn't used a smoke or anything. He's still sitting on the bar shot. Hasn't even leveled up the sandstorm yet. So
Yep.
not getting anything that he wants in this lane. And all he wants to do is farm. He's like, guys, leave me alone. Just wanna go farm.
And I mean, when your defensive tri lane supports are under leveled as opposed to the aggressive tri lane, then you've got a big problem going into the late game. Oh, bar
Bar
strike.
strike, catching on two, spins from Fanes, cold feet gonna proc, one more right click, concussive shot, actually catches onto Chilla, he's a dead man, but they actually managed to bring down Noob Kick on the side. Now Shadow, he's on the trouble, caught under the sentry wards, he uses a Sakuchi to get himself away. Sayu, couple of right clicks, maybe do some aggression onto Beavikas. Chilla comes back, feigns, 8 seconds until his spin is cooled down. Shadow sitting on 3 HP. Yo, he's out, he's going home. But without him here,
Smoke.
Fanes is just going to go back in. He's going to start swinging in again. Sayu, definitely a dead man. Concussive shot throwing him down. And then now Chilla, he might even want him to fall, but they don't really want to fight on the tower. Power strike, hit onto Fanes. Sandstorm, not enough damage. Is it going to be enough? No! 55 damage. For 55 health left.
Good lord. Now that's the kind of explosive start that eAe Hype needs in their aggressive tri lane, because now they've been getting so much kills going their way. The supports are getting levels. Their core on the aggressive tri lane is getting farm. So that's the kind of aggression they They need to keep pulling out.
Another thing they have in their favor, Super's absolutely dominating Ninja Pan in the bottom lane, doubling his CS. So if you're beating a
Wards,
Tyrant this badly,
Plague Wards. Oh,
Plague
got a
Wards OP.
hex. Got a hex over onto Chilla, but it looks like he just wants to stave him away.
Chilla's like, get out. Shadow needs to farm. And
Those
Chilla's
are some pretty cool Plague Wards, man.
Okay, yeah, those are quite cool. I didn't see those. Yeah, those are quite cool. And Umarin actually is beating Saber.
That's
okay.
that's a little surprising with a Wex Invoker, I must admit.
Yeah, very, very surprising. I did not expect that. Okay, cool. Next up, top lane might actually have some fighting. No, everyone's just gonna back off.
Sayu wants to commit into something.
Nah, he's also backing off. Oh, they smoke. They might want to actually move mid. Something interesting to note though, right, is that even though they've got all these kills going their way, Fanes and Shadow pretty much sitting on the same CS though.
Yeah.
Because all Fanes has been doing is fighting.
Yeah,
Doesn't have
that's
time for this farm nonsense.
the thing is, he's gonna make less of the farm than Shadow would. So what they're trying to make sure that Shadow's farm is insignificant at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to be like, bro, just lose. I think they're actually banking. The reason why they
Ooh, we've got Ancient Seal going out onto Shadow. Shikushi's out.
No damage. And we actually had a failed rotation mid. We moved them in to try gank up Umarin, but nothing came of that. And Saber, he moves top, but he's leaving Umarin farming free in the middle lane. So unless they make something happen and something soon, this is going to be a huge blow to Dog.
So many levels going the way of Super, so much farm as well. That's another problem going the way of Dog, because if they don't stop it, because you look at Plague Wards, so you've got level 4 Plague Wards. He's taking down the tower at some point.
Yeah, I mean, Tower's already sitting at 300 HP, but the bigger problem is that a Venom monster that fights early is deceptively difficult to actually control inside fights. We actually have a spin onto Sayu. He might actually go down. HSL already hit him up. Saber doing what he can through the playing field. Out of the storm going on. He's got a static link onto Fanes. Power strike as well. Fanes definitely a dead man, 1-for-1 so far. And now Dog Chiller, he's running forward. He actually wants to get a kill onto Beavikas. Maybe Beavikas juke around the tree line. They ping him out. They know he's there. He's gonna TP out in time. He has 5 seconds. Chilla coming through. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
20 HP.
Wow.
What a play.
What,
nice.
What a play indeed. What a play.
Nice.
But
nice.
nonetheless, Dog got the better half of that exchange. I mean, they took down
Yeah.
FaZe and only lost the Ancient Aberration, so they'll be happy with that exchange to an extent.
You're like, well, that's cool. Sayu was, I'm sure they were like Sayu wasn't shit anyway. And Tidehunt in the bottom lane, actually managing to get a kill onto Super. Ravage was committed, and he's gonna get the deny as well. Is he? Yeah, he's gonna get the deny. Nice.
That is
Well played by Ninja Bunny.
That's definitely what they weren't hoping for coming out on eAe hype.
Although, in some ways, they're probably gonna be fine with it. Because they forced out the Ravage to be committed, which has an
definitely.
insanely long cooldown.
We've got a
And they
Power
got
Strike,
the tower.
Cold Feet going out onto Fanes, but he Blade Fury's out of it.
So they try to kill him, but he's like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Chilla though, man. Still doesn't have his
He's still not
ice
even
water.
close.
What is Fanes doing? He
Oh, Saber maybe in a world of trouble. There goes a cold snap.
This might actually. There's no Ravage though. Omni Slash from Fanes. Actually, only hit on 2. Beaver Kiss gets the kill. Dog Chiller should be a dead man. Yeah, he's dead. So dead. So dead. So dead.
Oh, so the Sandstorm doesn't disjoint the Arcane Bolt.
I think there's like a frame or 2 where you can't dodge,
Yeah.
but you have to time it almost absolutely perfectly.
Oh, full Mystic
no, look
Flare.
at the damage on Shadow. Jeez. Okay.
And he doesn't have mana for. I mean, if there was reveal and his backup was there quick enough, he would have died because he
Yeah.
doesn't have mana for his time lapse.
Yeah, like no mana for it. Actually has to run all the way back home. That means he's not farming. That means that okay, Ninja Bunny is coming up here. Maybe get some farm built towards his Blink Dagger.
But he's going up
But,
against
hey,
three
man.
there, man. Oh, looks like
Carry Sky with me. It's difficult to deal with.
got an EMP going out. There goes the Plasma Field. We got Kofi going out to Super. Super may just lose his life. Super's in a world of trouble right now. There goes the Ice Vortex, and they found Super. Super's definitely going to lose his life. Falls down to Sayu over on the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, nothing you could do there. Like he chilled for a second here, but not enough. Not enough.
And they got the deny again.
They get the deny again. Ooh. So they're making sure that there's no extra tower, as little tower gold as humanly possible going the way of eAe hype.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there is still a considerable gold advantage 10 minutes in. They're almost edging their way to a 5k gold lead. But on the XP graph, they're just at 750. So in terms of what they're getting, Dog is kind of doing enough to make sure that they're surviving the early game, because once this gets into the later stages of the game, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for eAe hype.
Yeah, man, game will be difficult for real. But speaking of eAe hype, look at this full 5-man rotation top. They want to try to get the tower, man.
Yeah,
they
they want
realize
that
that they're
tower.
playing on a time limit here.
Yeah.
Chiller. When they get caught in the tornado, ooh, it actually just walks out. So now they don't have the tornado MP combo for another 26 seconds.
Man, those cooldowns are pretty long. Wow, those spells have long cooldowns.
Oh, yeah. Hey, but it's necessary, eh? Invoker OP must nerf, please.
Yeah.
However, this time they have Ravage. Ravage is ready.
They have Ravage. They don't have Ice Blast just yet. They don't have the Epicenter just yet. So it's only one of their key spells just up right now. So it may not necessarily be enough against the 5-man rotation. And in the back lines, we've got Saber trying to come through. Oh, we've got the
Omni
Omni
Slash going
Slash.
out, and he starts spinning a lot of damage. EMP Tornado, Mystic Flare already catching on Ninja Bunny, but he's so dead so quickly. Fanes doing as much damage as he can. He knows he's gonna die. Pops out in healing ward. Is he gonna be man fighting? Because on Chiller, Saber being like a bot. I have the storm going out. Fanes, who's running back on very low HP, healing one behind him, keeping alive. Now we have Ancient Shield going on to Dog Shadow. Is he gonna make it? Concussive Blast.
5 men gone. 5-man down, going the way of eAe hype right now, and they're obviously going to get the tower as well. So that's a huge win going their way. And now this kind of aggression has now essentially tipped the game to make sure that if they do get to a late game scenario, they might have enough of a lead to make sure that it counts.
Yeah. They're gonna need a massive lead, but they're well on the way to getting that.
Yeah.
7,000 gold almost in their lead. 3.3k experience. But more importantly, they won the fight even through the Ravage.
Yeah, man, a Ravage was committed and it didn't get them anything in return over in Clandog. We've got a burst strike catching super. There goes the cold feet. He might lose his life, but at this point, does he really care? There goes the Ice Vortex. A few right clicks coming out from Shadow. There goes the Shikuchi. Super's probably going to lose his life here. But he's he's deceptively a little bit tanky there.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm astounded that he survived that.
Very astounded.
On top of chilling touch as well. On top of chilling touch as well.
Wow. Chilling touch, and now he pretty much has his mech actually.
Yeah, he
250 gold. He might have it faster than Saber.
That's just tragic. That's that's kind of just tragic. I mean, if a Venomancer, if your solo Venomancer gets his mech before the Razor, then that essentially means the team with the Venomancer is going to be pushing a little bit more earlier. They're going to be getting a little bit more aggressive, which is exactly what they need. Their lineup needs to be aggressive, and they're getting all the pieces in the right place right now. Ooh.
Yeah, was actually Venomancer sitting on top of the network. 4-man rotated by Team Dog, but it's smoke and mirrors right now. eAe Hype trying to bring on the bottom tower.
Getting the tower.
Mass Serpent was committed.
Mass Serpent was committed.
Oh, tragically, 10 seconds of cooldown for the glyphs. And Saber, is he Dog? Are you gonna risk this?
He's probably gonna lose his life for this.
Catches him. EMP, Venomous Gale, couple of right clicks. EMP is gonna be gonna
even over.
Ravage is ready, but wait, actually Saber, yo, tanking it up.
He's gonna die
from this. You can't die from poison over. They got the tower. I think that's the real objective. Venomous Gale still on him. He takes out. He dies. That sucks.
So they got the tower. They got the kill onto Saber. Saber's he's behind on getting his mech right now. He's very behind in terms of getting his mech. So eAe Hype putting out just the right amount of aggression, and they're essentially shutting down the Razor.
Dog Chillers are dead, man.
Oh, deafening blast
pushes him back, so they have vision of him. But if they can they get in range for shackles? Ether shock, the damage. Damn deep.
Mystic flare going out onto him, man. He's a dead man.
This is damn Skywrath Cage. It's my Skywrath Mage carry.
Good
what the
Lord.
hell is this?
That's a very looking at the supports. That's a very farmed. That's a very farmed Skywrath Mage. Even Shadow Shaman. Looking at the on the net worth chart right now, the only one who looks relatively okay, and I say relatively okay because it's relative to the rest of his team, but not eAe Hype. The Weaver. Ooh.
Oh, Saber taking a lot of damage. Spawn dead. Damn it, Skywrath, relax, bro.
Jeez.
Chill, it's only a game, bro. Relax.
So much. This hero is going to be referred to as cancer at some point. We got a burst strike catching super. There goes a venomous scale catching Chiller. It looks like Chiller may be in a world of trouble right now. There goes the tornado, catches him. He'll probably take out. There goes the ancient seal, and that's a dead Chiller on the Sand King.
So dead. Wherever Chiller goes, it's like eAe Hype are really prioritizing shutting down the Sand Kings. He only now hit level 6. He's really far away from the Blink Dagger as well.
Is he really gonna get the Blink Dagger anyway? Ooh.
Ice Blast only catches on Noob Cake really. Clips the rest. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth it getting it at this point, or do you think he needs more aggressive?
No. The thing is, he kind of needs it because they don't really have the greatest avenue of initiation. So he kind of needs it, but it's a rough time right now for him. Ooh.
The rate of time it's gonna take him before he gets to it. Because he has no fear.
There goes an Eye of the Storm going on.
Sunstrike on the backline actually managed to bring down Sayu. And then now Barstrike catching on to the Radiant Master Noob Cake. Venomous Scale on the Poison Over. Ravage being committed. They're gonna bring down Chalice. He might have just tick out just now. He's already down. And then now Ninja, he has to run back. But he's gonna pop himself some magic one. And now Dog Shadow, he's actually trying to fight up against Jumarin, bro. But Jumarin might actually want to turn on the tornado being thrown out. Is he gonna turn on? Ooh. One last right click will be able to knock.
No mana for the time lapse.
Sunstrike is ready. Are we gonna see it? Sunstrike misses. Ice Blast.
And the Ice Blast catches him. Umarin's a dead man. Umarin's dead.
That was lovely. That was
That was a
lovely
battle
from
of
both
snipes
teams.
right there. That was a nice little battle of snipes. Ancient Apparition winning out the battle.
Yeah. Well played from Sayu. But they lost the tier 2. That's
They
in
lost the
shambles.
tier 2. They definitely lost the tier 2, but I mean, you look at what they got. They essentially got what, 4 kills going their way, and they only lost 2 supports.
Yeah.
So in retrospect, it's not as bad as it could have been. I mean, it's actually a win for them. But the
Yeah.
problem is they did lose the Sand King, and you don't usually hear one saying that losing a support over getting four kills is a bad thing. But the problem is Sand King is not even close to his blink dagger. I mean, he's sitting at what, almost 700.
Slash Ninja Bunny might actually die. So much damage. Yeah, he
so
died.
much damage.
Carry Skyrath strikes again.
He's pretty scary right now. He's sitting at 10 for 1 for 6 on the kill score right now.
Yeah. A lot of damage. Tornado catching too.
So much damage. Full on Mystic Flare. Oh, goodness. That's a dead Sayu on the Ancient Apparition.
Carry Skyrath strikes
The Scareth is looking pretty scary, man. Someone stop
they're gonna
the
get a tier 2 out
Scareth.
of this as well.
Yeah, they're gonna get a tier 2. And man, now the bigger question for Clan Dog is, do they even get to the late game right now? I mean, are they gonna get to the late game? I mean, there's so much going in the way of eAe hype. They've taken down all the tier 2s now. They haven't even lost a single tier 1.
Yeah. I mean, if you're right now, if you're sitting in Team Dog Shoes, you're like, okay, we need to find a good fight, right? Because what they proved in mid lane, that they can win fights, but not against the amount of initiation. Right now, because they don't have blink daggers yet on.
They don't have
Ninja
blink
Bunny or
dagger.
Dog Chiller. They can't initiate, and Ninja Bunny actually died again, so even further from the blink dagger.
And here's
Wait,
another.
what?
Wait, did Fanes just get a
Juggernaut?
blink dagger? Did Fanes just get a blink dagger?
Yes, Juggernaut blink
Okay,
dagger.
I'm leaving this up to you because I don't know what the I don't know.
Okay, what they want to do right now, the plan for the blink dagger is that you use the Omni Slash, you jump in, Omni Slash is many targets, so basically he's their Sand King right now. Because I think they realized in that last fight that in 5-on-5 they can't really dominate yet, so they need another added advantage, and that's the blink dagger coming out. And also, if he can use it to bait out the Ravage before the team gets there,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Indeed,
So huge.
Indeed. See,
Might even
oh,
see-
there's
there
the
you go,
blink.
he blinks
There's
first.
the first blink.
And
There's the
there's
play
the blink.
fury. Ooh, we've got Ancient
Tornado
Seal.
actually catch on Ninja Bunny in the middle of his animation for the Ravage, and then now too much damage. Ravage propped off, Poison Nova going on everybody. Ninja Bunny actually comes and mech being popped off, but Super taking way too much damage. Ether shot, managed to get the kill on the
5-man
same
wipe.
time.
This is
Famed.
possibly the sign of the end.
Wow. Double kill for Fanes. Tier 2, Rex. This is Rex. First lane of Rex, 20 minutes into the game.
Wow. That
Okay, and we're
it's,
actually seeing the utility of that blink dagger.
it's pretty scary. And here's another big thing. You look at the net worth chart right now. All 5 heroes coming out from eAe hype are more farmed than all 5 heroes coming out of
5 heroes.
Clan Dog. So, what avenue of coming back does Dog really have? I mean, I think the bigger thing is they really need the blink daggers. I mean, if eAe hype's the one getting the jump onto them, that means there's not much in the way of counter initiation apart from the Ravage. And I mean, I don't think I've really seen a proper epicenter proc off at this point. So it's looking rather dicey, man. It's looking very dicey.
Yeah, and the thing is, Dog right now, their team lineup, if you were playing from behind, right, this is probably one of the best lineups you could ask for. But if they need those, like you said, they need a blink daggers
They
onto,
really need them.
onto Ninja Bunny and onto Chiller. And before that, without that amazing initiation, they really can't actually fight, or they can't even bring down the Invoker, who they really need to kill in these fights, like so badly. And to make things worse, Aghanim Scepter on Rasta, so
Ooh, wow. That's something they definitely didn't need to have going the way of eAe hype.
no. Hey, Saber gets the mech.
22-minute mech on your solo mid Viper. Certainly not a good sign, man. Considering that's his first real item. That it's a defensive item and it's 22 minutes in. That's not looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely not looking good, but they really needed the item. Now, Fanes actually, he might get caught out here, but Saber knows, like, if he doesn't go in and show the kill on Fanes, they're never gonna get that.
And the problem is going
And I
up
think
against
he's had
Omni
enough of
Slash.
dying, so he's backing off.
Looks like we just lost Ninja Bunny over on the bottom lane. And once again, the
Oh, did I
carry
miss that?
Scareth. The carry Scareth just does it
Scary
again.
Scarlet, man.
It's real. I mean, he's sitting
Carry
at 13
Scareth.
kills and 1 death on top of 7 assists. So he's pretty strong right now in this game.
Quite strong, quite strong. Oh, Tornado going out, catching on to. We're only immediate time lapse from Shadow, and then now all their mana's gone. Sayo already on very low health. Is there a Sunstrike ready? Yes, there is. Is he gonna proc it? Here it goes. He's gonna miss though. It's not gonna get the kill. But he held up back lane. Shadow still fighting. Going back onto Humaran. No, they just forced them off the base. So
In the meantime,
they're actually gonna
Nuke
drive. Yule Scepter. A lot of damage. Omni Slash onto Saber. He's gonna die. He pops the mech to try to get out of this. No, but he can't afford to die.
dead. And on the top
No
lane,
buyback either.
ward's been committed. Ancient
Wait,
Seal
so
over
this
to
bottom
Ninja
fight
Bunny.
is.
Mystic Flare going out, catching Chiller. Chiller's probably going to lose his life. There goes the cold feet going out onto Fanes. There goes the deafening blast. Chiller's definitely going to lose his life. And they're going to probably lose so many towers right now. I mean, they lost towers going out New Cake's way. They're losing Rack's top. They're losing territory. But this game's almost done and dusted, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I think the utility from eAe Hype, that Vivakiss Skyeth Mage, she just put in too much work this
Too
game.
much work. There's
Way
not much
too
they can
much
do.
work.
And they're going to be going up against Mega Creeps pretty soon. Ooh, Ancient Seal. There goes Shadow, the way of Fanes.
Because game is hard. He's actually, wait, you might gonna try a man fight with Saber, take a lot of damage from either storm. But here comes the carry Skywrath Mage. Going back onto Saber. We might see an Ancient Seal being procced off. One more right click, they bring him down. Chiller, Power Strike, catches on two. Mech being popped off by Super. And then now Omni Slash going on to Sayo and onto Chiller. He's gonna die. Double kill for Fanes.
This is GG well played, ladies and gents. This game should be done and dusted right now. They're gonna take the last few racks, Mega Creeps, and game is hard.
Now game is impossible. I mean,
Yeah, it's
that was a
impossible.
fatal blow. They really can't come back with it. They're even going for the jugular now. Nothing, absolutely doesn't, and they have no way to stop it.
They have nowhere to stop
There's
it,
no
I
blink
mean,
damage.
and rightfully so. They call
Yeah.
GG well played.
Call GG. That damn Skywrath.
Well played coming out from eAe Hype, securing a 2-0 win over Clan Dog, and they advance to the finals. This game boiled down to a few things. eAe Hype had a lineup that would be very successful in the early stages of the mid game, but obviously then Dog had a lineup that if they were allowed to get to the late game, they would probably win the game. But eAe Hype recognized this fact, and they made sure they kept the aggression going on. They made sure they won the early game, and they won it handedly. And that just translated to too much of an advantage going their way. Clan Dog really couldn't get anything. And the big thing coming out on Clan Dog's lineup, they just didn't have an avenue of initiation. They didn't get the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, they didn't get the Blink Dagger on the Tide Hunter, and it just fell apart at the seams.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to a stage in the game where you realize that the only way you can fight is to get the good initiation onto eAe Hype. And because Fane's got his Blink Dagger before even Chiller or Ninja Bunny had their Blink Dagger, he was the one jumping in and saying, okay, now let's fight now, before you're ready to commit your fight and before you can sync up your spells in that way. So just out early game formed and out initiated.
Yeah, man, just so much of an advantage going eAe Hype in so many different avenues. I mean, they got the tower advantage very quickly. I mean, 20 minutes into the game, all the tier 2s were down, and that's a problem when you're going up against a lineup that has a Venomancer and a Shadow Shaman. I mean, at one point, New Cake was even going solo, split pushing on the one end, and they were pretty much taking the team fights handedly 4v5.
Yeah. When the game gets to that point, you can't really win.
Yeah, you
And
can't really win.
in any event, eAe Hype, they get themselves through to the finals of the Amateur Champions League. And has the other finalists been decided yet?
As far as I know, it hasn't been decided.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be coming up. For more info, check out our Facebook page at eAe Gaming and our Twitter at the same thing as well. I'm Snare, and this is AD.
Yeah, cheers, man. Oh, by the way, check out our YouTube channel, eAe Gaming, as well. A lot of the VODs from the matches that we cast will be going up there.
Yes. Follow what he says. He's got a nice voice.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.